Well, this is John Black, Super Chemist. Hopefully this one or the next one will be the last video in this series called Trump Racism. Then we can move on to the next one, which will be called Biden Racism. We'll compare the two racisms and see what's up. Now, in the last video, we were talking about, people, they'll bring up, you say, well, what did he do that's racist? What did he do that was racist, Trump? They always go back to some 1970s suit against him when he was basically a kid just coming out of college. You know what I mean? Wasn't even in charge. He was on the board, but he wasn't like the president of this. It's unreal. My whole point is if he's so racist, he should have lawsuits left and right his entire life, but they can't even come up with anything from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. They got to go back 60 years, back to the 70s or however long that is ago. You know what I mean? To even come up with any point of that he's racist. I looked into the 70s lawsuit, and yes, he was sued for, not running for black people or whatever. But that was, anyone knows that when someone sues someone, like a hotel like that, and they're suing all the hotels, they don't leave anyone out, okay? And there's two reasons why they don't leave anyone out. One is greed. I would do the same thing. If I was suing, 90 high-end hotels in a city, and there was 92 there, two of them weren't doing anything, I'd still include them into the lawsuit. My attorney would advise me to do that. You know what I mean? There are two reasons why. One is because you don't want to leave anyone out. It's just basically about greed. The second reason is because the innocent people, they will admit things, you know what I mean, so that they don't have to pay as much, you know what I mean? And then it gets the ball rolling, you know what I mean? It's kind of like in these court cases where they'll arrest 30 people and 5 of them aren't even guilty or anything, but like in the Trump cases. Then you got the people down at the bottom of the, on the low end getting charged with stuff. And they're like, well, all you have to do is admit it, and we'll just basically let you go scot-free. We'll give you a couple months probation or something instead of putting you in prison. You might, there's a chance you might go to prison. So, and then they say, okay, I'll say I'm guilty. And then it looks good for the other 30 people that are being charged for whatever, you know what I mean? But I looked into the case, and Trump has never, ever, not once, admitted that he was wrong. You know what I mean? And people like that are rich and that know him, they all say the same thing. That's a real nerve hitting when you bring up that subject. And I know what it's, because I've been accused falsely of something, and it's just a nerve that you hit it and you bring up that same exact thing, because I know what it's like to be falsely accused or whatever. But he never had to pay one penny. He did lose, or he went to no contest. I don't know which one it was. I can't remember. But anyways, his punishment was that he would have to, in his advertisements, say that, when he's renting out a place or selling a place, he has to put a little disclaimer saying, we love black people, or, we rent to all colors, or whatever it was, something to that effect. And basically what it was is one guy, one peon, it'd be like the CEO of the McDonald's, and some peon that takes garbage out for one store did something racist. And so now the CEO, it's all his fault, and even though it's just one guy out of a 20 billion McDonald's places, you know what I mean, or whatever, or one, chain of restaurants, one guy, no, you fire that one guy, you know what I mean, and that should be the end of it. Obviously, if it's only one guy, obviously the company doesn't believe in it, you know what I mean? Otherwise, it would be rampant, So that was his only punishment. He didn't have to pay no money. He never admitted that he was guilty. Never. To this day, he says he's innocent. And he is. Because what it was that he had one guy in a peon renting place, you know what I mean, that rented out stuff. Wait, no thanks. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. So anyways, it was one guy that was a peon that was being racist, and they found that out, and that was their whole case against Trump. Okay. Obviously, Trump fired that guy, and he did what he was supposed to do by law, which was put in all his ads that he loves black people, or we rent to black people, or whatever it was. But they never proved that his company was racist. All they proved was they found one guy at it. I mean, how many people was working for Trump at that time? 10,000? I mean, I'm just making up numbers. I don't know. But it had to be more than hundreds. You know what I mean? There's thousands of people working for Trump. Because one guy was racist, that doesn't, no, that doesn't make it a systematic problem within his company. That makes it a anomaly that he didn't know about. You know what I mean? Another thing that they'll bring up is there was six black kids that were railroaded. They were accused of raping a woman back in the 70s or whenever it was, maybe the early 80s. I don't know. I can't remember. I remember the case though, because I remember the six black kids. Anyways, the cops tricked them and manipulated them and used force basically to get them to admit to things that they didn't. Basically, when the trial was done, none of the kids even actually admitted that they did anything. no one admitted that they raped anyone. But they tricked the kid. They were like, well, if you just say that you touched her arm, and that was all you did. You know what I mean? And then they got another kid. Oh, well, okay. All you have to do is say that you grabbed her leg. That's it. You didn't rape her, nothing. So the kid is like, this is after like days of being interrogated. And what's funny is I seen one of the interrogation things, and that kid had some McDonald's or whatever, and I can't remember. He did something though that was like spilling his pop or something like that effect or whatever. Or I don't even think he spilled his pop. But after his McDonald's or whatever, the cop was saying, you need to clean up your area. This kid looked terrified. I mean, he was like, I'm sorry, I'll pick it up. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, the signs were, I mean, obviously that kid was being hit or something by that cop. For him to be that afraid and that scared and that response, that's the response of a victim, you know what I mean? But anyways, they tricked the six black kids. Of course, nobody knows this, because on the news, all they hear is, they all confessed, you know what I mean? So Donald Trump went on the news and said they're terrible people, you know what I mean? Because all he heard was they confessed, and hey, if they confessed, what do you expect them to think? The whole country believed these six kids were horrible rapists, you know what I mean? And so they'll say he's racist because later on they found out they were innocent. Well, what does that have to do with anything? That doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean? And we went over the KKK thing. Hey, if you think that because KKK endorsed Trump, well, they endorsed Christianity. Okay, so if you're a Christian, does that mean you endorse, KKK shit? No, it doesn't. Okay, that's ridiculous. They endorse vanilla ice cream. I like vanilla ice cream. Does that make me a racist? If you think I do, it does. Well, screw you. And I wanted to bring this up too because I'm getting so tired of this crap where white people are called racist, and for some reason they have this mental thing where they think that they have to justify. No, I'm not racist. My best friend is black, and my this and that, and I half my family's, hey, probably 10% of my black family is black. I've dated black chicks. I'll date her, fuck any black chick, really. But and most of my best friends have been black. Half of them probably in my life. But you know what I say when someone calls me a racist? I say, fuck you. That's the correct response as a pastafarian. You don't have to say fuck you, but you have to say something towards that effect. Your opinion is good. Because these people are garbage, okay? If you're not doing anything racist and they're calling you racist just because you're white, let me tell you, that's the definition of being a racist. So by definition, they are the racist because they are calling you racist solely based on one thing and one thing only, your skin color. That's literally the definition of a racist. So when a racist calls you a racist, when you know you're not a racist and you're not doing anything racist, you don't try to justify, you don't try to explain, you don't do any of that. Either walk away if you can't get up the gumption, or you say, hey, fuck you. Okay, that's what, every time in my life when someone calls me a racist, I don't sit there and tell them how, all the crap I have done and been with black people. No, fuck that. Okay, I don't need to justify myself to another human being. Okay, if you think I'm racist, well, fuck you. Okay, that's the correct Pastafarian response. Okay, it's not to be a little bitch. Okay, and start saying, oh, I'm not racist. I love black people. Blah 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 blah. No, fuck black people. Okay, I love black people. But if you come up to me and you're black and you're calling me a racist for no reason whatsoever, well, fuck you. Okay. You don't have to care about black people every second of your life, okay? Just not being racist is good enough. You don't have to be an activist. I mean, it'd be nice if you're an activist to help, if someone needs help or whatever. But, it's I am not afraid to say fuck black people, okay? And I'm not afraid to say fuck white people, okay? Same in Asian people. Fuck all of them. Fuck everybody, okay? Because I don't need to justify myself to I'm a pastafarian. I know what I am, okay? So I don't need to justify shit, okay? So people need to stop doing that. Someone calls you racist, they're the racist. So you need to just tell them, fuck you, you're a racist piece of shit. I don't need to justify myself to a racist piece of shit, okay? So I am really getting tired of that. And the same thing with the preference thing. Me, myself, there's only one limit that I have on women is they can't be taller than me. I can't be with a woman that's taller than me. I don't care how attractive, how gorgeous they are. I'm not going to be with a woman that's taller than me. And even that I probably would, if I really liked a girl and hung out with her first and fell in love, yeah, I'd still, whatever. But everyone has a preference, okay? And just because you're a white, you don't sexually prefer a black person, even the most gorgeous black woman in the world. Just like an 8-foot tall woman. I don't care how gorgeous she is. I'm not going to be sexually attracted to an 8-foot tall woman. I don't care if she looks like Jessica Alba. I am not going to be attracted to her, okay? That doesn't mean I hate the whole group. I hate all 8-foot tall women. Doesn't mean that. Okay, just like if I love fat chicks. I'm really turned off by fat chicks, almost like to the fetish. But if I didn't, if I wasn't sexually attracted to fat chicks, it doesn't mean, or 8-foot tall women, or black women, or white women, or whatever color or whatever, orange-haired girls or blonde-haired girls, whatever. That's a preference. It has nothing to do with hate and racism. Okay, I'm not racist and hate 8-foot tall women. I'm just not sexually attracted to them. I don't care how hot they look. You could have an 8-foot tall woman that is a hot ass chick, but if she's 8 foot tall, when I'm standing next to her, I'm not going to be attracted looking up at the ceiling at her. Okay, that doesn't mean I hate her. The same way as if you're white and you don't get into black chicks, that doesn't make you racist. Don't fucking goddamn try to justify it, though. If someone calls you a racist for that, they're the racist. Because they're assuming that it's not a sexual preference, that it's just about racism. And why are they doing that? They're doing that solely based on the fact that you have white skin. That makes them the racist, not you.